All right, well, welcome everybody who could make it out tonight. For people who go to the shop, they know I'm not Tanner. If you've never been to the shop, I'm not Tanner. That's the guy we usually have up here. My name's Jett. I think a lot of people here know me, but I do see a couple people that I've never met before. But tonight's a cool night because, well, we weren't supposed to have the shop, but Sandman, Peyton, he actually put it back on the map, and he chose me. I don't know why he chose me, really, besides that was just the first option, because I think there's a lot more people that are easily qualified to be up here than me. But he asked me, and my immediate reaction was like I was speechless. I didn't want to say no because, that's just bad. Like, if somebody asked you to get up here and speak, and I say no, so I just kind of, didn't give him an answer for, 5 minutes. But then he reminded me that, don't you have, a stored-up sermon somewhere? And he was right, I do. And the sermon that I was working on about a month ago, I didn't get to tell it to anybody, and I think tonight is a perfect night. It's Philippians 4:4. If you have your Bible, that's the main verse that we'll be going over. But basically, a little bit of context is me and my D group, and if you're not in one, you should definitely get in one. It's very beneficial. We're going through the New Testament, and we're reading in Philippians. And I was at a coffee shop whenever I was reading this. And this was about a little over a month ago. And a little over a month ago, I had just gotten out of a pretty serious relationship. And my days for a couple days were just trying to get through the day. I had a lot of built up emotions. I was trying to have complete dependence on God, but I was really struggling, obviously, just dealing with everything that comes with a breakup. But this verse, it just kind of broke me. I was in the coffee shop, started tearing up a little bit. But it's rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. And a little bit of context, Philippians, it's one of Paul's letters. If you don't know Paul, he's one of the biggest persecutor of Christians until he was 30. And then he had a supernatural encounter with Jesus. And then he's the most famous evangelist in the New Testament. Now that we know Paul. The book of Philippians, so Paul had already visited this church, and he was waiting to go back. But before he went there, he was in Rome. And while he was in Rome, he was imprisoned for 2 years. So him being in prison for 2 years, and he's constantly encouraging them throughout this letter, rejoice, be thankful, while he's just in prison. He doesn't know what's going to happen to him. He very easily could die within the next week. He doesn't know, but yeah, he's still saying rejoice. And rejoice, by definition, is a deep sense of joy, happiness, and gladness, often in the context of celebrating God's goodness, salvation, or blessings. It's a profound expression of faith, gratitude, and trust in God. You ever just wake up and you're in a super good mood and you're just feeling it that day and you can't wait to go attack the day? Maybe you woke up early and you got good sleep. You woke up on the best side of the bed, whatever side that is for you. And you're ready to attack the day. But out of nowhere, something hits you with it's just bound to knock you off your good track. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you an example. I don't know why this popped up in my head whenever I was writing this, but about 2.5 years ago, whenever I got home from church camp, I was on fire for God, and I just got home, and I don't know why, but at nighttime, I was you know what, I really am going to go take my car to a car wash, a nice car wash. And there's this one in Bryant, I can't remember what it's called, but I wanted to take my car there. And I was super excited for some reason. So I woke up early, and I'm pumped, I'm on my way there, And I get there, and I'm like, dude, my car's going to look nice. And then I look for my wallet, and then it's literally nowhere. So here I am sitting in the car wash, was pumped, but now I'm like, it sounds silly, but I was infused with rage. Because I just drove 30 minutes out of my way to go get a car wash, and then I'm like, why in the world did you drive 30 minutes to get a car wash, Jett? And this is what I'm thinking, running through this in my head. Forgot my wallet, and then my Bible's sitting in my passenger seat. And I'm like, I open it up, I'm like, this really needs to calm me down. I'm about to blow a fuse. I open the book of John, and I literally read like, I don't know, 3 verses, I want to say. And I'm like, I just go home, and I'm listening to Christian music, and it's like completely fine. It's like, what was the point of that? Like, it made me feel like a child. And actually, recently, I was playing disc golf with a couple buddies. A little embarrassing, but I guess I've kind of accepted it that it was a bad throw, but I was throwing over a lake, and I just threw it straight into the water. And I was pretty mad, so here's my bag over here after I just like sit there and it's just in the air, and then it goes right into the water and it's lost. And I see my bag and I'm like, yeah. So I just run over there and I kick it like as hard as I can. And then I have like a couple discs fly out. I pick it up and I'm like trying to stay mad, even though it was so ridiculous. And I pick up my bag and I'm like, what am I doing? It's like the same moment where I like felt like a child. And I'm like, I mean, like, it's so easy to, I guess, if for a little thing to not take over your day, I guess, and you can get over it. There's little things, and then there's harder things that can, like, really shake up your world. Like, for me, something that really affected me whenever I was younger, especially, is whenever my parents got divorced, or even something more recently where my brother, he had just gotten out of rehab. And then I was rejoicing in that, and I was praising God, but that's only because of my expectation of, oh, this is so good, this is so good. But I wasn't rejoicing in the fact that God is God, and I didn't really have trust in Him. And he just kind of fell back into some old patterns, and it's like stuff that you just, it could just like control you, and you really can't even help it, and you can feed into those emotions. And it's really hard to rejoice whenever all that's just like taking control of you. And I know, at least me, I've asked that question, like, why me? Like, why me? Like, why does this have to happen to my family? Or like, why have I had to deal with this for so many years? There's a question, why do bad things happen to good people? When I ask that question, the easy answer is Romans 3:10, which is, no one is good, not even one. Except Jesus Christ, of course, and He's the only time that something bad happened to a good person, and that's whenever we sinned and He died on the cross for us. That's the only time anything as bad has happened to a good person. So essentially, bad things happen to bad people. But if you really do want an answer for like the trials that come in our life, I would say hard things are hard, like they just don't feel fair. I mean, like, life's real, it's hard to rejoice. Like, it's not something easy. It doesn't just come naturally whenever you're a Christian. Like, you'll hear of scenarios, I don't know, someone that's really, really striving after Jesus. Maybe they're a parent in like a church. They just got into a devotional group or something, and then they get a call on the phone like, oh, your child's just been in an accident. Like, how are you supposed to rejoice in that moment? Or when a good person is wrongly accused of a crime, and then they're sentenced to prison. Like, in this situation, like, how do we rejoice? And you might feel the same way, like, why is this happening in my life? Why did this happen to me? Like, I'm trying to be better. Like, I know I've said that. It's not fair. Like, I've given myself that excuse. We might question God, like, why? Like, He's the person that we question for some reason. It's just like, why are you doing this to me? Like, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to show me in this? Like, what did I do to deserve this? And the truth is, it's just devastating, like, world-shaking events can happen in our life, and we just question God, we blame God for condemning us, or He's doing this just to get at us for whatever reason, but that's like the furthest thing from the truth. Like, God only wants good for us. It says in James 1, 2-3, count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. It can be really hard to see the good in situations, especially first when it happens. Like I've had the feeling of the world just caving in on you, or maybe it's you feel no emotion at all. Like you just feel numb to emotion. We tell ourselves like, how am I going to get through this? Like I can't see a future past this. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. How you get through it is you know who God is. You see the good by knowing who God is. What I mean by that is, in James 2-3, it says, "For you know, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness." So then again, we see the good by knowing who God is. But how am I supposed to see God in a hard situation if I don't even know who He really is? Like, ask yourself that. Like, if I'm not rejoicing in the fact that this is a tough situation, do I really know who God is? In the middle of the verse, he says, when you meet trials, we know that trials will come, but we count them as joy because God uses these trials to shape us and to mold us as Christians, to mold us as better people, and He wants us to draw closer to Him. And in these situations, the difference between us and God is God knows the potential that you have whenever you're facing this. He knows where you can be at the end if you just draw near to Him and rejoice in Him. But in us, like we can't see that. Our judgment can be so clouded, and we don't even see the future because we're so caught up in the situation. If we know God, we know that He won't condemn us. And if we know God, we know that He works all things together for good. And Romans 8:28, Paul says, we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose. When my parents got divorced, I hated life. I wasn't happy. I was overwhelmed with emotions. I hated my parents. I hated life. And I would question God. And like I say that as if it's me right now, but it was just like a little third grader. So I can kind of laugh at that. But to be honest, it really affected me for a long time. Like, I don't know, throughout high school, I was honestly, I was pretty depressed. Like, I was really sad for majority of the time, up until probably my senior year. And the only time I was happy or any sense of joy was strictly hanging out with friends. Anytime I was by myself, I just was sad. And I was only depending on my friends. I wasn't depending on God. I didn't have any joy in my life. It's like some people might be able to relate. Like, I don't know, it really affected me, and I never understood why this had to happen to me, because me growing up, like all my best friends and everybody that I had known, like their parents were still together, and my best friends were, and just mine weren't. So I didn't really know how to deal with that, and I didn't know how to talk to anybody about it. So I questioned, like, why me again? Like I said that for so many years. It's just, why me? And that's so easy to say. And me now, it's like all come full circle from whenever I was just like in third grade to right now. Like I can look back and I can see God protecting me, and I can see Him working throughout my life. Like in this situation, His hand was over me. He was protecting me from this. Like whenever my parents got divorced, like my mom, like she is now saved, and she didn't like going to church whenever my parents were together. She wasn't saved. Now she's saved, and she loves God. Like I see that through her. She talks to me about the Bible. Like that's so encouraging. And even from the divorce, I've been able to help, like talk to like two of my friends, and just talk with them about it whenever they didn't know how to deal with it. Like they were struggling because I didn't have anybody that I could talk to being that young, or I felt like I didn't have anybody to talk to. So I've been able to help people from that. And it's like, that's how you rejoice. That's how you know that the Lord works things together for good. The Lord works. Like I'll say that again, like the Lord works. Like you just have to look for it. And whenever you look for it, it's not hard. Like you see Him working. Like you see Him like literally in every situation. Like, I didn't know as a little third grader, my like two of my best friends, like their parents were going to get divorced or were on the edge of divorce. And I was the only person that they felt comfortable with enough to talk to. Like, the Lord works. Paul says, rejoice. And like taking a step back to the little things, like, why be mad? Like, why would you let that bother you? You know, like just little things. Like, why would I let losing a $10 disc affect my day? Like, why would I let that control me, that emotion? Like think about it. Like, if you're a Christian, you know what I'm talking about. Like, our God is alive. Like, we are alive. We are breathing. We woke up today. We have conversations. We're working. Like, we are alive. This world that we are living in is made for us to rejoice in with the Lord. Like, that was God's original plan. Like, we are here so we can rejoice with Him. Paul has been almost stoned to death, and he's been ran out of many cities. He's had every reason to not live for the gospel. And on top of that, he's thrown in prison for 2 years, and he doesn't know when he's going to die, if he's going to die, if he's going to see the church again. Like, he doesn't know, but he still says, rejoice. Like, you start to see it. Like, whenever you put meaning on that, you get context. Like, rejoice. Like, listen to Paul and listen to the encouragement. Like, rejoice. To rejoice, I know for a long time I had the mindset of just looking at the world or life as kind of like depressing, hopeless, dull. Or you might look at it as just getting through work or just trying to get through the day. Like, we get angry for what, you know? Like, maybe we get a flat tire, or we're late to work, or we're late to school. Or maybe you step in mud and you just let that completely ruin your day. Like, just think about it. Like, you know how silly it is how we let that stuff just control our mind whenever our God is alive, and we can rejoice in that in our salvation. Like, why do we let little things like that just control our life? Like, live your life with the Lord. That's how you'll be able to rejoice. It's simple as that. Like, live your life with the Lord and know the Lord and know what He says and trust Him, and that is how you rejoice. And I'll just say one more thing, and then I'll pray. You know, we're not here for long, and we know trials will come. The Lord tells us that, but if we know how good God is, we know how gracious God is, we know His goodness, we know that He doesn't condemn us. If you know that, you should literally, if you're a Christian, you should never stop be rejoicing in the gospel. It's as simple as that. You should never, ever stop be rejoicing in the gospel. Never. Like, Jesus died so that we could live. So live for Him. Like, that is why Jesus died, so that we could live for Him. Like, we don't just go up to heaven when we're saved. Like, we're here for a purpose, so live for Him. You'll really know what it's like to live, and you'll be able to rejoice in life whenever you find that connection with Jesus and you put your trust in Him, and you're able to rely on Him. Like, I don't know what everybody's going through in here, but I do know that, like, even if you don't see it now, like I didn't see it for a while, like, God does work all things together for good. And if you rejoice, you will be able to see where He is working. And I mean, the Lord works. I mean, it's as simple as that. Like, just trust in Him, and you'll be able to live your life constantly rejoicing. All right, I'll pray.